Hi everybody, I have been joined by Paul and Adam from Greater Than Games. New guys who are in the studio for the first time. Welcome to Ireland.
Thanks.
And I wanted to actually get you guys sat down on the weekend to introduce you to the community. So say hello everybody.
Hey.
Hello everybody.
Oh, sorry. Hello.
And I wanted to talk about what kind of games you guys make as a company, and basically just get a feel for who you guys are, because we have more and more new people running in. So I'm starting to get a little nervous that people on the community are going to go, sorry, who are these ones now? Who is that one? Were they with them, or them? Okay, so we'll do this a little more often, hopefully, as we bring new people in.
Yeah.
First things first. What games do you guys make?
So yeah, our company is Greater Than Games, and we make a lot of different games. We've got two of them here to kind of show off.
Yeah.
This is the first game we ever published, actually, called Sentinels: The Multiverse.
Okay, so this is the one that made you guys a company.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so
exactly. So it's here.
Yeah, this was my friend Christopher and I developed this game, and I went and drew everything in it, and he...
Oh, you did the art?
Yeah, Adam did all the art for this.
Oh,
So.
dude,
Yeah.
you have a fantastic hand on you.
Thank you.
All right, and so what type of game are we looking at here? What kind of game is this?
So this is a cooperative fixed deck card game where you play as a hero fighting against a villain in some sort of dynamic environment.
Okay, so let's crack open the box, because I'm always curious to see what comes inside a brand new game, especially when it's cellophaned. I can't resist opening it. So, build quality is great for a start on the boxes. There's sometimes I'll open boxes and the box just feels that little bit too light.
Yeah.
So there's a tactile thing to that for me. Right. I don't know if a lot of people get that, but that's what
absolutely.
So inside our box, we start off with, what is this?
So that actually lets you know that there is an app of this game. So you can get this game on the Apple App Store. And
so
Steam
iOS and Android?
Yeah, iOS and Steam, yep. So all of them.
Yeah, so there's both an app of the game and an app for tracking if you don't want to have the tokens out. Then you can keep track on.
Yeah.
Okay,
this app right
so
here.
moving on through. Rulebook, I guess?
Yeah, rulebook. Yeah, for sure.
It's done really nicely. It's got that nice sort of comic book feel to it, like an appendice for a comic book.
It tells you a little bit of the story of all of the characters that are in here. This is entirely in a universe that Christopher and Adam made up. So.
I see. And so I'm guessing this is just some of the breakdowns on the cards?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on through, we have these tokens. What are these for?
Those are for hit points.
Hit points. So we have 1s, we have 5s, we have 10s, and we have 25s.
Yes.
All really nicely die cut on the board. Again, bugbear of mine is when I see die cuts that are just ever so slightly offset.
Yes.
You know, and
me too.
You know, the number just isn't precisely in the center. So I like
that drives us nuts.
Yeah, we went and found a factory that's really good at die cuts. So in particular, just because that is a trickier thing to get.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's having that little touch of extra care. I know a lot of people out there wouldn't notice it if it's there, but if it's not there, they instantly notice it. It's that whole thing. Do it right, no one will notice. Do it wrong, they'll never let you live it down.
Yep.
Okay, next down, what are these?
Those are modifier tokens. So sometimes things in the game will say, you take 1 extra damage from attacks. So you'd use these damage taken +1s. Or all of your damage is now fire. You'd use that. There's a variety of different effects that can be applied to things in the game, and those are just to keep track of that stuff.
Okay. We then move further down, and we have a lot of cards.
Yeah.
A lot of cards.
One thing you've added in here that I like, there's a little bit of sponge in here. That is something really nice to have, just because how many times have you had cards in boxes like this? You go to fill them up, and they go everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
So this helps it sit nice. And then we've got, these are actually divider cards. So once you open everything, then you can sort the game out by deck. So every hero has their own deck, every villain has their own deck, every environment has its own deck. And so you sort those out. And in this game, there are 10 different heroes, 4 different villains, and 4 different environments. So that way you can keep them all organized and alphabetized.
Yeah, and heroes have 40 card decks, villains have 20 card, 25 card, and environments are 15 cards.
What's the Omnitron deck?
That's a villain. That is a giant rampaging robot.
Ooh, goody.
Yeah.
I love me some big
sometimes
stumpy
turn
robots.
into a factory that puts out a bunch of other robots.
And I'm guessing just in here, is this divided by hero or type?
Yeah, they're divided by hero, and some of these are split between bricks.
Yeah, once you open them out, it's easy to sort them out.
Sort them out by
the deck backs are all unique.
Names on the back.
We'll not do that on camera.
Yeah.
Because that would be like watching paint dry and watching us sort out decks.
Yeah.
Definitely would.
But I mean, like I said, build quality on the actual boxes is great. The cards, They look to have a very nice finish on them, and
Yeah.
seeing just all the little pieces of artwork. So you've got like a little utility belt here. It's very nicely stylized. It's not done old school, which some people like. It's not done overly new school. It's that happy medium. So I think it's pleasing to the eye for both sets of people.
Yeah. Another thing that's neat about it is you've got a flavor text down here that gives you a quote from a comic book that doesn't exist, but it's it's got an issue number and everything, and it says what they happen, so it kind of immerses you in that world.
Talking to you guys off camera, I kind of want this comic book to exist. I kind of want this comic book to exist.
Well, if you can come up with a way to get paid for it, then I'd be glad to do it.
Dude, Kickstarter.
Yeah.
do like a single print run on Kickstarter. See how many people want that.
Yeah.
Coming 2019. I make the promise now.
Good.
Yeah, but you see, it's little things like flavor text and stuff that I'm guessing that's what you were really aiming for in this, was just packing as much flavor into the game as you could.
So when we made this game, there were a number of superhero games that have been made over the years.
Yes.
And Christopher and I felt that there was none that made us feel like we were a hero, and that this was, I was embodying who this is, and I have my own set of powers, and then we go together against this one villain. And so that's what we set out to do, was make something that I could be the hero, not just play a team of heroes, like Magic cards or
Well, it's right now. Mostly my background is in wargaming.
Yeah.
But there's one thing I have found that I always desire in every single game I play, regardless of whether it's skirmish, mass battle. I want the stuff on the table to feel like my stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's my story. I'm telling it.
Right.
That's just something I really find enjoyable about it. I mean, whenever I first started playing 40K.
Yeah.
So I grabbed the Space Marine chapter. I made my own chapter. I give them their full backstory. The game allows me to do this with the heroes in here.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you set your villain out, and the villain definitely has a plot, and that deck is automated.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of storytelling that can take place as you're playing. You go, all right, well, I get out my utility belt and I pull out my daggers out of that and throw it, and as much story as you want to put into it, there's definitely room.
And the deck drives
that narrative.
The deck drives you toward feeling like you're being whichever particular character. So if you're the Wraith, so you're an urban rogue and you've got some throwing knives and some other stuff like that, you're going to be like going around and shooting out some damage and trying to get your gadgets and build up all of your gadgets you've got. Whereas if you're Tachyon, you're a super speedster scientist, so you're going to be playing a bunch of cards and doing a bunch of other stuff, and it feels like the story of that hero, and you learn it by the mechanics of playing it.
Yeah. But it feels like I'm taking on the full role of the hero instead of just shunting the hero about, and the hero kind of takes over for their own stuff.
Yeah.
I like the fact that there's that much control in there for the player. Right, so that is Sentinels of the Multiverse. Okay, I definitely, after talking to you with this one, I want to kind of get it on tabletop.
Sure.
So we'll see what we can do.
Cool.
So we'll pop this out of the way, and we'll have a look at the other one. Now, this one has me really curious. So is this one of your newer games?
Yeah, this is actually very new. It released at Gen Con last year for the first time, and this game has been doing so well, we've had trouble keeping it in print. So this is the first advanced copy of the 4th print run since Gen Con that we just got flown in. So
this is Spirit Island.
Yes.
So what is the narrative behind this particular game?
So this game there is somewhere in the South Pacific, somewhere around there, an island. And there's people that live on the island and nature spirits that dwell among them. Yeah. And they more or less coexist until one day other humans start showing up, landing explorers, building towns, building cities, blighting the land and destroying the presence of the spirits, killing the people that live there. And as the players, we're all the spirits. So this is another co-op, actually. So we got 2 co-ops in a row. This is a full co-op, but this is very deep strategy with some area control kind of stuff going on, where we've got to increase our power and drive those invaders off the island.
Yeah. Okay, well, what's the box open now? So let's see. Oh, I love that new box.
Yeah.
Okay, so inside the box,
PVC coating.
there's a really nice finish on the box itself. It's got a nice matte finish to it. So we come to first our rulebook. I assume this is just everything we need to know.
Everything you need to know to play.
Playing the game. The different layouts for 4-player, 3-player, 2-player.
Yeah, exactly.
And just where you're going to want to lay stuff out on the table itself.
Yeah.
And then, so this game, what is the main mechanics that you use to actually play through the game?
Yeah, so it's got a lot of different stuff going on. So you build an island, and if I can show you.
Yeah, sure.
These are kind of neat. So it's a 1 to 4 player game. So if you've got 1 player, you're on an island that looks like that kind of.
Oh, so I can play this solo?
Oh yeah, totally solo.
That's nice.
2 players, you have an island that looks like this. So it kind of puzzles together like that.
Yeah,
you see?
so we put it like so.
Now 3 players, you'll do this.
So we make a circular one.
Right.
I can't exactly fit it on camera.
Right.
You get the gist.
And then 4 players, it gets a little bit bigger. We're going to run out of camera space even faster. Here. So this guy's got to flip around so the ocean's on the outside. And then you got 4 players like that. And so then it makes this big board. So that
those will go up to 5 and 6 too.
Yeah.
If you have more tiles.
So do you just build it further this way?
Well, I'll show you. So we're going to be coming out with an expansion with the tiles for 5th and 6th player. So 6th player expansion does this. Builds this island. You can see.
So you're building.
And then the other 2 go out here. You build a star.
I see. So I'll see if I can get some of this under here. But yes, so
that's the 6th player. And then you would imagine if you had the 2 other pieces, this would actually be flipped.
This would fill in.
It's like this, and then it would fill in down here.
I see. So here and here.
So that's a future expansion.
That's a super clever board design.
Yeah.
You know, most times whenever you see a board game coming out, it's the normal fold-out stuff. You have pre-laid out stuff.
Right.
This is really nice and modular.
Yeah, it was fun to getting the factory to figure out what we meant and like how do you convince them and explain to them that you wanted to be able to do that and be able to do this for the 3-player board and the 4-player board. It took like a hour-and-a-half bilingual phone call with like 3 different continents to get that to happen. So.
Yeah,
but it's important because you couldn't just play this on a regular board. This is part of the scaling mechanic of it. So.
There's also a certain level of, depending on what way the board's laid out, your tactics are going to be changing. Because if I play a 1-player game on each of these 4 different boards, I have 4 different sort of scenarios that I'm playing through.
Right, exactly.
Because I have different stuff in different locations around the board. Because if you look, they're all differently laid out with where the different zones are. So you've got your mountains, you've got your water, you've got your sands, you've got your forest. Whereas on the other side, you've got your water, you've got your mountain, you've got your water, you've got your forest, you've got your sand there. So I mean, like that will change game mechanics a lot.
Yeah. Depending on where you lay it out, you might have 3 mountains next to each other.
Exactly, and what's on the edges, what's in the middle, that kind of thing changes a bunch.
So I like the modularity of it, in the fact that it can give you very different gameplay with just a very simple change. You know, even if you're playing a 3-player game, you change out one board and swap the other 2 around. You have a completely different map you're playing on.
Exactly.
Very clever design.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's bring this in. Let's see what we have next. So what are we seeing here? I assume this is all of our tokens?
Yeah, these are all the tokens you'll need. So there's energy. So you gain energy as you do stuff to help you pay for powers and things like that. And then this is fear. So fear is good in this game.
Okay.
So we're the spirits. We're these scary, weird nature spirits. So we're trying to generate fear in the hearts of the invaders that are coming at us on the island. And the scarier we are, the easier it is to get them to leave.
So we're basically the big scary bugaboos out in the forest.
Exactly.
All right. So. And then what else do we have here? I'm saying 4 colored tokens.
Oh yeah, so those are there's 4 different colors for the 4 different players. This core game goes 1 to 4 players.
Yeah,
and those are reminder tokens. So sometimes you'll do an effect that you'll do the effect and then it won't actually matter yet, or it'll affect something down the road. You might put that there to remind you. Oh yeah, I did the thing in that land.
Like defending an area, but you don't have to worry about that for another
exactly.
5 minutes.
Cool. Yeah, and then we have a couple of other bits. So what is this?
So that is actually for a specific adversary. So this game scales a lot in terms of difficulty. So when you first start out, there's a basic scenario, which definitely I recommend playing on the first time. But then once you figure out the rules and you get good at it, then you can get to the point where you can consistently beat that. So then you want to make it harder and harder and harder. And there's specific adversaries you put on there that makes the rules worse.
So the invaders, I can basically give them more personality?
Exactly. You give them more personality. You make them... There's a whole alternate history that we wrote for the Age of Exploration. Different, alternate history, different things happen. So there's all these different powers going out there, sailing out and colonizing and stuff like that. So this is for one of them. This is actually for the Kingdom of England, which at the time... So in this alternate history... Great Britain is not Great Britain. It's England and Scotland are separate. Separate kingdoms, both going out making colonies.
I see.
Yes. And so this is the Kingdom of England going out there, and they build a lot really fast.
Yeah.
So if you are the Kingdom of England on here, then you use this tile to indicate that there's an extra phase of building in addition to all of the normal phases.
Yeah. So, all right, break the game round down for me very quickly, just because we're talking about building, we're talking about paying for abilities and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this could be very useful. So, to start a round, how do I begin?
So you begin, then there's some panels in here. You can go under all the pieces and show all the stuff that's there.
I'll lift these trays very quickly.
Yeah.
And so do I need any of these to show?
Yeah, grab this, one of these panels right there.
Okay, so I'll grab...
Anyone will work.
This one.
Yeah. So you start out, and everything is simultaneous, what all the players are doing. So all the players will go and they'll first choose a growth option, which is one of these options up there. And you choose one of those and you do that stuff. And those are totally different for every spirit. So you first all do those, and that will let you gain new powers or gain some energy or place your presence discs out there on the island to indicate where you are, spread a little bit further.
Assuming presence discs is
right there,
And where do these go on the board?
Oh, so those start out on your panel, covering up some of your power-ups right there,
Okay.
And then as you place presence, you take it off of there, you know, revealing higher numbers and powering you up, and put it onto the map to show you where you are.
Okay, so we'll choose one of these options. I assume these become pretty self-explanatory symbol-wise.
Yeah, once you kind of learn through the rules. So then you go down here and you gain some more energy.
Okay.
Then you use that energy to play powers. And when you play those powers, you put them down. There's some of these cards here that you play, and they don't do something right away.
Okay.
So you wait till everyone has all their powers in play, and you look around, you see who's got fast powers.
Yeah.
You do those fast powers, but then after the fast powers happen, you go on and you start doing the bad guy stuff, the AI engine, the invader stuff. So that is under here. We got even more stuff.
Oh wow, there's a lot of this.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got another little board here.
So here's the board that has the whole AI engine.
Okay, so let's fold this out.
Yeah.
Get here.
So here you go.
Okay, so this is our AI board then.
Right.
Okay.
So up here you'll have fear. This is where you put your fear to generate it and move it up and down.
Yep.
And then over here there's a set of little mini cards that will have different land types on them. So here this one is a wetlands, for example.
Yeah.
And so that's a randomized deck that you'll draw them through, and you'll see where they're going to do stuff. So you'll see that once these fill up, they're first going to ravage in some land types. So ravage is when they deal damage, try to put blight on the land, kill off the Dahan that live there.
So I start here.
Yep.
You ravage.
Right.
Then you build.
Then you build somewhere. Then you explore someplace new. And then these cards all slide this way.
So the ravage is discarded, and then the build becomes the ravage.
Exactly.
And the explorer becomes the build.
Exactly.
And this draws
and you flip over a new one. Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
Really straightforward.
So that's the AI engine. And you go through there and do all that stuff, and then you go and you have any of the slow powers that you played happen.
Yeah.
And then you start back at the top of the round with your growth and your other stuff.
So it sounds like a very fast game to play. I'm going to say that now.
Yeah, so it takes about 90 minutes, I think, to usually play through a game.
Okay.
The first time you're learning it, if you're learning it from the rule book, it'll definitely take longer, you know, as you expect.
Yeah, I think
that's what every game does.
Yeah, exactly.
The first few turns are slower. And then once you get a flow, then turns move pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing I'll say is it's being clear with where everybody's at. You know? So
exactly.
if someone starts playing powers before you've actually chose your growth and or gathered your energy, make sure and go hang fire.
Exactly.
You know, and just get them to slow up, because I'm sure you can get excited with this game going, yes, I'm going to do this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
It is very
amazing
easy to get wrapped up in that.
Yeah. One of the nice things about it, though, is there's almost no downtime for anyone in the game.
Yeah.
So all of the players choose their growth options and gain their energy and choose their cards to play all simultaneously.
Yeah.
So you can chat with everyone about what you're doing while they're doing the same thing, but no one is really waiting around for anyone else.
Yeah, so there's a round order, but not a turn order.
Exactly.
Which I quite like that. I quite like that. A game I'm very curious about, I'm going to say. Okay, now here's one for you. This is something I like doing with companies whenever they're new to us, and I like being a little mean.
Yeah.
Would you guys like to give away a copy of this game?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to. So this particular game actually would be great if we can give it away. This game has been out of stock for the last month. We're waiting for a print run to come in.
Okay.
So it's kind of hard to find right now. So
all right, I tell you what. Let's make life a little easy for you. We'll do this exact copy. I will get it in the post. All right.
Perfect. All right. Yeah, that sounds great.
All right. Well, everybody, if this is a game that you've noticed, you've maybe seen it at a show, wanted to pick up, haven't managed it, or if you have a friend who has maybe mentioned it to you, make sure and share it to them and tell them to come in and get a comment in on this video on beast4.com. What should we have them comment? What is their favorite game from Greater Than Games?
All right.
That's what the comment has to be if you're going to win. Winners on any of our shows are always announced on a Weekender, which is our weekly show that comes out on a Saturday morning. We also have a Sunday morning show as well. That's for our backstagers. But that's where you're going to want to keep an eye out for the actual announcement of the winner of this prize. So, new question then.
Yeah.
Where are you guys going to be turning up to this year events-wise? Because if they don't win this, I'm sure they're going to want to come and see you at events and stuff to actually maybe try and Shanghai a copy early in the day.
Absolutely. So we will be at UK Games Expo. We're one of the show sponsors this year, so we'll have a big booth space. We'll be teaching both of these games, and a bunch of other of our games we'll have there. And they'll be for sale available there. So that'll be good. So we'll be there in the beginning of June. Then we will be at Origins in the U.S. We'll have a booth space there and be demoing stuff, showing that off. Then we'll be at Gen Con as well. So that'll be good. Huge. And we always love Gen Con. We always have a big
Gen Con blew my mind.
Big budget stuff.
So huge.
Right. Exactly. And then after that, we will be at Essen, but I'm not sure if we'll have any games for sale at Essen. So we're going to see. And then PAX Unplugged after that, exactly. So we'll be at Essen. There's a German version, actually, of this game coming out. Pegasus will be publishing at Essen. And then hopefully we'll have French and Russian versions at the same time. So that's
very nice. So you're going multilingual, casting the net wide.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
And then, and then we'll be at PAX Unplugged the beginning of December back in Philly. So
Okay.
Yep.
Now we come to my favorite part of every interview.
Yeah.
I love twisting companies' arms a little bit.
All right.
And asking them, is there any chance of a little sneak peek of what you're going to be working on in the future? You know, just a little tease?
Yeah. So
so right now, we're full speed ahead on the Sentinel Comics role-playing game.
Yeah.
That's really what all my time is spent doing right now.
That's a lot of our upcoming stuff. We're working on... So we've got an RPG set in the same universe as Sentinels, the Multiverse that you had, right? And we've released a starter kit for that already to kind of get people into the game, people that have never played before, want to learn the system.
Yeah.
But what we're working on right now is a core rule book.
Okay.
And then a line of other books that are coming out after that. And so that's something that we're working on really intensely.
Yeah. The other thing that we have coming out before too long is Legends of Sleepy Hollow.
Yep, that's just going to mention next too.
It's very, very exciting. It's basically a sequel to the original story in an adventure type game.
Yeah, so that game has it's a 4-player game, and you're going through on a team, kind of adventuring through this series of adventures, series of maps, basically, where you go through and uncover a story, and it has some amount of legacy elements even to it, in the sense that you power up your character, you change what your character is doing over the course of playing it, and then you can go back and reset it and then play through it, and it's different depending on how you play through it. So that game will be fun, hopefully this fall.
All right, so definitely something to keep an eye on is going to be the guys at Greater Than Games to see what they're coming out with. I'm very curious about the role-playing game, so I'm not sure. I'll see if I can get sat down and get a chat with you about it. I'm not sure if it's out already or if it'll go out after this, because sometimes things get filmed and they go out in the wrong sequence, but we'll see what happens, all right?
Yeah. All right.
Right. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure having you in.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the prize, because it's always nice to give stuff away.
Oh, yeah. That'll be good.
It's always nice to get people into new games. This is something I always say to people whenever they talk to me about working here is, what is your favorite part of the job? It's seeing someone click with a new game. It's that moment when they get it and actually start really thinking into a game. The only thing left to do is to say, everybody, get your comments in below if you want to win yourself a copy of Spirit Island. We will move on. We will see you again another time.